All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. You might have thought you weren't going to get a video today. That's wrong. We have a video today. Now, we're doing something a little different today. It's not a reaction to a crazy Barcelona game. It's not a prediction video, which you guys love on this channel. I wanted to keep the videos going because I really just enjoy making content, man. I really do. I love the sport. You guys know I'm like football for life. That's all I do, man. I play the video games. I talk about it. I watch it. I play it. That's all I do. I wake up every day. I live the dream. We're going to be reacting today to what a lot of you said with your most controversial football takes. I asked Twitter. We got 616 replies. We are not going to be able to go through all of these. That's impossible. So we're going to pick out like 10 or 15, talk about them. And I want you guys in the comments down below to just let me know what you think about it. Again, with takes for the most part. Well, actually, there's some takes that are definitely wrong. Definitely some things are wrong. We will probably be seeing some funny stuff in here today. I've already seen one of the takes had like 45 replies. People were cooking him. So it's going to be funny. If you guys want more of this, just do me one favor. Drop a like on this video. It lets me know that you guys want to see more of this. If you don't drop a thumbs up. But I think it's going to be a good one, and we're going to get into it. We'll do more stuff like this as well. And without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, take number 1, and this is 3. And this was one of the most liked. This was one of the most liked comments on the thread. I sorted this by most liked comments to pick some out because I'm like, okay, what are people seeing that they like? This has 3 takes, which, you know, I said reply with your most controversial football take. This guy gave 3. First one: Jude Bellingham should have won the Ballon d'Or over Rodri and Vinicius. No, I don't think so. Guys, what do you think about this one? For me, just to talk through, for me, I think Vinny, Rodri, I didn't personally really care. I thought either of them were deserving. For me, yes, Jude Bellingham, what he did was very impressive last season. And I think where I would agree with this was that if England won the Euro, there's too much importance on that clearly, as Rodri won the Euro with Spain and was a huge part of it. That's why he won it. And we might have even seen a situation, an interesting one, where if Brazil, you know, Vinny didn't get the card ban at the end of that tournament, and they went on to go win, which, you know, was winnable. You know, it was winnable, but they didn't do it, right? Maybe even if Jude had won the Euro, what would have happened there, right? So, look, for me, I don't think so. I think Rodri or Vinny, that was fine for me, either one. They actually both split the awards when it came to like all the other award shows, but Rodri ended up winning the Ballon d'Or. Okay, Cristiano Ronaldo is the most underrated footballer of all time. Do we have to actually, like, are we gonna react to that? We're not gonna react to that, right? Neymar is better than Ronaldinho. Shouldn't be controversial, but nostalgia merchants think so. Okay, I think both Neymar and Ronaldinho are absolutely all-time incredible players. I think when you take a look at both of their highlights, their best highlights, you're wowed by both of them in different ways. For me personally, I am recently starting to kind of feel that when they were both at their peak, I don't know if I've ever really seen a player play the way that Neymar has played. I actually think if you wanted to go to the most underrated footballer, Neymar is so, like, hated everywhere. All I see is that he's hated, and I know he's made some decisions that, look, we personally don't love. For me, the saying with Neymar is that he's always been, what do they say about him? Something about him not becoming king, right? He never ended up, I forget what the phrase is, bro. I'm cooked at this point. But I don't know. I think to say he's a lot better than Ronaldinho, it's hard to say that. I think it's personal preference when it comes to that one. I don't think that one is a terrible take, but I definitely don't agree with the first 2. So that was the first one. I don't know how you guys feel about that. First 2, I don't agree with. Maybe the third one we could get with. Okay, this has 145 likes. This is an interesting one. Manchester United will win a trophy with Amorim before Arteta does again with Arsenal. This is actually a little bit more interesting than you think, but I'm going to disagree with it. Guys, for me personally, looking at all of this objectively, you guys know I do not love Arsenal. I just can't see a way. I see no way where this United team, with who they have currently, yes, I actually don't think Amorim is a bad manager. I really don't. But who they have on this team, I just don't see a way where this is going to actually really turn around. They're going to get the players they need. They're going to get the youth players in the next 2 years. I think at some point, surely Arsenal is going to get a trophy at some point. You would think Arsenal this summer will sign someone in the 9, and they will at least win one of these cups, one, before United wins another one. But then again, we seen last season, you know, Ten Hag takes them with McTominay and Bruno playing striker, and they beat Man City. So I don't know. This take is not the worst take I've ever seen, but I'm going to disagree with it. I think Arsenal will get a trophy before Manchester United. That's what I think. Okay, this is going to probably spark a lot of drama in the comments. This is actually 70 likes on this, 7,000 views on this post. The Premier League isn't the best league. It's just the best marketed. La Liga's technical quality and tactical depth outshine the Premier League's hype. England only has money and pace, but Spain's produced more Ballon d'Or winners and dominant clubs for a reason. What's this top comment saying? No, actually, I'd argue that the players of the team, such as Real Madrid and Barca, got more PR than any other team in the world. Prem is greater than. Okay, I will tell you this. I am of the belief that this can change season by season a lot. In the current grand scheme of things, for me this season, the La Liga is the best league in the world. I think a lot of people will tell you that. What I will say about the Premier League, though, which is becoming more interesting and more interesting. If you take away the Manchester City side and maybe one or two of these crazy Liverpool teams, you know, even look at this Liverpool team this season, I don't even think this Liverpool team is like crazy good, right? I think they're solid. I think the next couple are not amazing at all. And then I think there's a lot of teams overperforming that more at the bottom because they're shaving more points off the top because the top isn't as good. So we're seeing a more hyper-competitive Premier League. But if you just take the leagues at face value, I look at the Premier League as more of a physical, fast league. I look at the La Liga as more of a, those players, for the most part, on average, have higher technical abilities, higher techers, right? More football IQ. They breathe it more. That's just my opinion. It doesn't mean it's the right opinion. So we take a look at what he's saying. He says the Premier League is just the best marketed league in the world. La Liga, well, it does have the most viewership, so that part is true. It is the most viewed league in the world. I agree with the La Liga technical quality. He says England has money and pace, but Spain's produced more Ballon d'Or winners. Where he lost me a little bit at the end is a lot of the Ballon d'Or winners, the PR from the Barca and the PR over the years from the Barca and the Madrid teams is really factored into the Ballon d'Or. However, the recent Ballon d'Or player just played for Man City, right? We can look at some of these scenarios. Well, what I will say to you is this. Even with the counter to that take, Real Madrid wins the UCL most years. We saw a run where Barca was winning the UCL. It makes sense that a lot of time those players on those teams get into the Ballon d'Or. And for the most part, you know, Messi and Ronaldo were sharing that award for 10, 15 years, and they were just playing in La Liga. So, you know, I think undoubtedly over the years, La Liga has been a lot better for the most part in the whole sum. It's had down years, but now that Barca's on the way back up, I think it's back there because we had this period for a while where it was really just Real Madrid. Atletico Madrid was doing well. Barca was in shambles for like 6 years. But before that, Barca was insane for like 15, 20, 25 years. So it has waves. I would say right now, yes, I would say this year, the La Liga is better than the Premier League. The Premier League is more talented and better than it's ever been. Chris Wood bagging a ton of goals would have made him a Barclays man in 2005. But now it seems it somehow means the league fell off. People don't genuinely enjoy the sport anymore because half the fans don't even watch. Okay. There's parts that I agree with this one. There's parts that I disagree. Guys, I'll be honest with you. Today, if you watch my live streams, if you hang out in there, we watched the Manchester United versus Arsenal. It was so crazy. Like, the level in that game from 2005, the 4-2, I mean, the players in the game, but watching the game, like watching what Scholes and Giggs could do. I just don't even know if I genuinely see players linking up that way. Ronaldo, Henry, Vieira, like just watching the game. Crazy game. So there's parts of this that I agree with. I think for sure from a person that, look, I'm turning 27. I grew up watching the Premier League. So I started watching the Premier League when I was probably like 7, 8 years old. But in my recent memory from remembering like maybe my years from 10 to 15, I don't recall any of these mid-table teams, these bottom-table teams on one given week, having a good week and being able to beat the top 4. That I will give with this take because I agree with that part. We have seen in the last few years some of these bottom-table, mid-table teams become absolutely incredible. You know, we've seen stuff where like in these English Cups where we see a team in the second or third division making a run and beating everybody. We see it every single season. What I will say overall, though, I do think there's been a lot of years where the top tier is better. But if you want to put it as a sum of an aggregate, that overall the league is more competitive, yeah, that I will 100% agree with. But I do feel like the top 3, top 4, top 5, we said in this video already, is not nearly as good as other seasons we've had it, and many other seasons way in the past. We've seen some really genuinely crazy teams up at that level, and I do believe this is one of those seasons for me where Liverpool is good and everybody else is just all in that just above average tier, and that's why they've created separation. Pogba would have been one of the best midfielders of this generation if he went to Madrid, then United. Special player. Interesting take. So this guy is saying he wants to see him at Madrid. Yeah, Pogba to me is like, guys, in terms of someone that watches so much of this, I even with what has happened to Pogba in what could have been with him, I still feel like from the eye test in terms of overall talents, Pogba is 100% one of the better midfielders we've seen this generation. I mean, it's not to say that, okay, I'm putting him on that like, you know, Kevin De Bruyne or in terms of maybe like Conte tier, but just in terms of like overall talent, man, he's like a similar situation to Neymar for me. Like he's shown through, he produced for France, but we really outside of 1 or 2 seasons, the one season at Juve, and he did have a good season at United, we really didn't just see what we thought we were going to see. And we know the talent. Watch this guy's tape. If you forgot about this man, don't disrespect Pogba. This is not a bad take. Neymar had the most God-given talent with a football. In terms of what he could do with the football, there's only a couple other players to even like to this take that I would even put on the same tier of what the talent was and what they actually accomplished. Just even off the top of my head, like I would tell you, just Messi, like I think Ronaldo is very talented. right? And I think Ronaldo, I feel like Ronaldo's development in terms of how much this guy trained. I just look at the way Messi plays, and it's not that I'm slighting his training. I just think he's so gifted. So gifted. I put Messi there. I'll put Ronaldinho there. I'll put Maradona there. So everyone that's in the newer generation, and look, for me, it's even like you could, because he's before my time, but take the time to watch Maradona. You guys will be like, what the actual hell? If you watch a Maradona tape, you have no understanding of how good this guy was. There's definitely more players to put in that conversation. This is not a bad take. Harry Kane is a generational talent and doesn't need trophies to prove it. And then we have a response saying, how is that controversial? And he says, you must be new around here, because yes, this is actually with Harry Kane. This is a take that a lot of people have with Kane, that he needs to be a part of a trophy winning team. And guys, I'm going to be honest, I'm kind of a little bit more in that camp nowadays. I mean, dude, this guy's still, for everything that he's done, he's now gone to Bayern Munich. He still hasn't even won a trophy, and that team was winning 6 trophies a season. So we need to see this work somewhere. I've had my thoughts about Kane with England. I'd felt like at the last Euro with Kane that they were playing better with Watkins. We saw it a lot of times he came on. Look, Kane is one of the best finishers ever. Extremely clinical. I do have my personal thoughts about the 9 position, and at times the way he chooses to play it. I think at times it really hurts the way they want to play and stretch. I don't think that, look, there's any disagreements that Kane is a generational talent. I don't have a disagreement with that. Would trophies and an important trophy, an international trophy, a real trophy that, like, not like one of those outside cup ones, like, we're talking like a Champions League trophy, would it help and solidify his all-time legacy and put him another notch up? Absolutely, it would help. It's a big deal for a lot of people. I'm telling you, it's a big deal for me. Be a part of a championship team. He's not been that yet. Obviously, Spurs never got over that finish line. They had that one season, fell apart. That was their season. That season, they got up to second, fell apart. That was the biggest chance for Tottenham. I guess actually outside of the fact that they made it all the way. That Spurs team made it so far in the Champions League that one year. But that season was the one to do it, and they didn't do it. All right, this guy is saying Mo Salah has always been a fraud. This is not very upvoted. We're getting to the point where all the upvoted ones are kind of gone. Guys, Mo Salah is not a fraud. I will say, Mo Salah, for me, I've had my questions about him over the years. What he's been doing this season, it's very impressive. What I will say about Mo Salah, at this point in time, whether you agree with this or not, he is a very large, he benefits a lot from the Liverpool system. Look, if you disagree with that, that's on you. I think you put Salah in a couple other teams in the world. I don't know if he's going to have the same level of success. Would he still give you, let's say, 20, 25 goals a season in terms of contributions? Yes. Would he be doing these crazy numbers like he does at Liverpool? No. This team is perfect for him. It suits him. And God bless his career and his stats and everything he's been doing this season, because it's a testament to him being loyal and just staying in a good situation. This is why if something is not broken, don't try to fix it, all right? He has completely solidified himself as one of the Premier League greats by staying here. And there was all these rumors for years that he was going to leave. I was hoping he wouldn't. Because I know that Liverpool is a very important place for him to be in productive state that he's in the way he goes now. Darwin Nunez is a better footballer than Luis Diaz and Jota. Okay, this is an interesting take. Guys, I am a huge fan of Darwin Nunez. If Darwin can ever clean up his finishing and earn the role to be in the team for the full 90 with ultimate consistency, guys, I don't think there's any denying this guy is a serious talent. I think the big thing of why he's memed all the time is because people know how potentially good this dude is. It's these bozo misses that he has that you can't understand. He's got to clean that part up of his game. I wouldn't necessarily compare him to Diaz, because I always will look at Diaz as more out wide. Jota, at the end of the day, is one of those players that I don't understand how he does what he does, but he does it. Snapshots out of nowhere. I'm not going to disrespect Jota. Do I think Darwin Nunez, if he can figure it out, if he can eventually get there, let's not forget all the transfer value, everything this guy was hyped up to be. It's not that he's failed, but he's not gotten where we thought he would get. I'm still in the camp of believing in this guy. I don't know. I believe in this guy. I think he can do it. Hopefully he can do it. Don't let us down, Darwin. Barcelona's only playing good because they are still in the honeymoon. Next year, we will see if this team is actually the real deal or if they even win the Champions League. No, I'm not. And this guy's name is Bend Over. Yeah, real classy, man. I don't agree with this take. I watched these Barca games. Look, they had a little slump in the middle of the season. This team is the real deal. I don't want to hear it, all right? How can you not think this team is the real deal? Half the team is from the Spanish national team. They went out this summer and cooked everybody, all right? Yamal is a generational talent. Danny Olmo, who everyone was hating on signing, has made impact, okay? Who else we got to talk about in this team? Pedri is a top 3 midfielder in the world this season. I don't care what you say. Rafinha is in the Ballon d'Or. No, I'm not. No. Vinicius Jr. has had a better career than Neymar already. No. Arteta has to be sacked for Arsenal to win anything. He's got the talk of and a similar trophy cabinet to back it up. As a manager, he's failed and underachieved massively. Okay, everybody's been asking in these videos for my takes on Arteta. What do I think about this guy? What's my opinion? Here's my opinion. I'll give it to you right now. I want to let this guy go out this summer and get someone at the 9 spot that's going to get these guys goals, a consistent striker. Okay, then once they have that, because in my opinion, the way that Arsenal's having to play a lot of these games now without a striker is definitely a little bit more of a defensive style, I think, at moments. Do I think that Arsenal is going to win the Premier League in the next 3 years? Let's think about it. Liverpool, they'll be there. Is there anyone else that I think is going to be there? A lot of people ask me, do I think Man City is going to make a run at it? I don't know. I think Man City is going to start to ship off a lot of the pieces that made them so good. But what I will say is that Man City was leading the league in points before Rodri got injured. So regardless of that, you still have Haaland, top 3 striker in the world. You still have Rodri, best DM in the world. You still have all these guys on this team that are solid players. City's going to, funnily enough, funny saying this, they're going to have to make a couple signings as well, I think, because they're going to have a lot of players on the way out. They will have to make another signing or two on top of what they already have. Arsenal has brought in a lot of players. I don't know if they're going to win the Premier League in the next 2-3 years. I think Arteta, if I was an Arsenal fan, I would probably give him another year and a half, 2 years, right? A lot of times with these managers, people are way too reactionary these days. You have to understand, Arteta at this point, yes, he's not brought you what you wanted, but you've got to a point where your club was kind of back in shambles a few years back, and now you're up there in the discussions, right? Whether you're not doing it, but you're up there in the discussions. You played in the Champions League quarterfinal last year. You're playing in the Champions League quarterfinal this year. Knock on wood, you don't lose a 6-goal aggregate tomorrow. So let's see who he goes out and gets. Let's see who goes to this club. I think this club is appealing for players. They're playing well. They're almost there, and I think some players would want to go there, get some money, and be a part of making that next step. That's when you have to judge it, though. You give this guy, 2-3 years, because look, you have to look at Arteta like, okay, where would you go from there? I don't feel like right now we have a plethora of managers available in world football. Look, I understand the frustration. I'm not there yet with Arteta. That's my opinion. Might not be yours. United will get top 3 next season. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We don't need to talk about that one anymore. All right, I've got time for one more, then I've got to go. I've been working, doing this stuff all day. I appreciate you guys watching this, and we are going to end with this take right here, and this is exactly why we need to leave some of these takes out of these videos. Salah's season is greater than any Messi season, not going to lie. What was this guy born, 5 years ago? Don't disrespect the GOAT. Everyone who's watching this video that hasn't seen the 91-goal Messi season, please do yourself the justice, all right? And let's give a W in the comments for Luca, giving this guy the Certified Yapper Award, presented by Talks A Lot University. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.